do you become a consistent machine at what you do? How do you become a top performer, a high performer? Years ago, I really, really struggled with this. I think people that knew me and know me still, right? People that knew me back, friends back then, would have said I had a lot of fun and enthusiasm and energy. My heart was in the right place. I was always up for a good time, always up for connecting with people, very good at meeting new people, seizing opportunities, negotiating, making things happen. But I think the bigger part of me and the bit that has matured through this was sticking power around one, how to change destructive habits, discipline around mindset, that's number two. And number three is doing what it takes on the days that you don't want to do it. I think that's really what it comes down to. It's not about just being fun and full of energy and enthusiastic about something or motivated when you're motivated. It's about your ability to be able to pull it off on the days when you least want to do it, on the days where something's happened that wants to throw you off, or the days you just get up and you haven't got that firepower in you, or you don't feel like you should go to the gym, you just don't feel like it, you don't care, or you feel off. You know those days where you're just like, hang on, can today just not be a day? Can I just get back in bed? Can I just watch Netflix all day? Can I not do the gym? Can I not eat right? Can I just eat Cheetos? Can I eat ice cream, chocolate? Can I flake off? Can I not do what I need to do and get my stuff done? And it's those days that matter most. It's those days that make you successful. It's not the days when you're motivated. It's not the days when you're hungry and you're after it. I love those days. Don't get me wrong. I love those days. I want more of those days. I want more days in a row where I'm back-to-back winning, where I'm on fire, where literally everything I touch turns to gold. I want those days. Fine. Call me the Midas touch. Call me success rains down on it. That's what I want. But that's not reality. Reality is there's overwhelm, there's pressure, there's kids, there's problems, there's challenges, and it's all coming at you like a fire hose. And you've got energy levels, and you've got distractions, and you've got society telling you what you should and shouldn't be doing. And you've got a family, and you've got people, and you've got a partner, and you've got voices and noise and everything around you, right? And then you've got your own self, right? And you've got your own goals, and you see it, and you're not where you want to be, and you feel demotivated, you feel depressed, you feel sad, you feel like a victim. All of that. And that is going to knock you off course. And I say this with the most graciousness and heart behind it. If you can change your self-image, change yourself to become a machine at that exact moment and say, no, I will not give in to these emotions. I will not let these emotions dictate what I stand for, which is my values. I will not let these feelings control what I do. I control me, and I'm going to the gym right now. And even if I don't feel like it, I'm going to work harder. I'm going to give joy to myself. I'm going to give to myself because I value my self-worth. I value my self-respect. I have respect for myself. And so if I need to take time off to have a massage, I'm going to do it because I'm feeling overwhelmed. I'm going to do the things that are going to get me to the result that I want. And I'm not going to stop until I get there because I want that so bad. I want that result so bad, and I'm all in on getting it. And I do whatever it takes. And that's the difference. That's the difference between what changed from a decade ago, Tim, to now. It's the ability to do the things when I don't want to. It's understanding how much my self-worth, my self-esteem, being able to trust myself is important. My integrity with myself, my promises to myself, and my self-confidence around that. The standard and the people that I allow to have influence over my life, the standard that I have for my life, and then this ability to just double down on the days that I don't want to do it. And if you can do that, if you're having a hard time right now, if you're struggling, just do it for 5 minutes. Just do it for 5 minutes and give to yourself, right? Because you're benefiting yourself, whether it's dropping down and giving yourself push-ups, pull-ups, going for a run, putting some inspiring music on, whatever it is. If you've had a tough day and people have been screaming at you, you've had argument, you've had a tough day at work with your boss, you've had a tough day with your partner, with your family. Give to yourself, build yourself back up. Make sure that you're okay. Give yourself self-love. Get that massage. Put the meditation music on. Light a candle. Get the aromas going around. Do something that you know puts you in a good space physiologically. So you change your state. So you change how you're operating. Because the trick here is that when we default to lower value behaviors, when we default to things that are throwing us off course, when we default to not sticking to the program and not doing what it takes to win, not doing what it takes to hold our standard high, it's because we've given in. It's because we've moved towards that lower vibe. So you need to change your physiological state. You need to change the energy, the vibration in you, so that you can raise up and you can elevate and you can stay high. It could be as simple as, I used to walk around smiling my ass off before going into meetings, right? If there was someone I didn't want to meet or I wasn't looking forward to meeting, I would smile all the way to the meeting. Even if I didn't feel like it, I would force a smile. I'd look like a lunatic walking around, like not feeling it, but my body would feel it. It would have to feel it because I'm physically doing the thing that is causing my body to respond in a certain way, which is neutralizing my emotions back down to a higher vibe state, going up from low to high. I'd put something on that's funny. I'd be around people that are the right energy and the right environment. And I'd put myself physically with them because I value me and I value getting back into that state as quickly as possible. If I messed up, right? Say I did something for the first time, and it had been a long time since, say I did an interview or a podcast and I wasn't happy with it. Say I was getting interviewed by someone really important, and this interview has the potential to get me hundreds of thousands or even millions of downloads. Say it's that kind of interview. And say I wasn't happy with my performance. I went in, did the interview, and I walked out just feeling about 50% happy with my performance. Do I lambast myself and judge myself and then do behaviors that take me further away from my goal, like eating junk food, going out and partying, going out and doing whatever it is that takes me away from my goal because I'm punishing myself for this thing that I didn't do. I failed to meet my standard. Or do I look at it and go, hey, all that is feedback. All it's telling me is I need to grow in that area and I should probably do more of that. And great, I got that out to the world and hopefully it helped someone. Hopefully what I said and what I did and my performance was good enough to touch some lives and help some people. And who cares if I don't get the result that I desired, which was lots and lots of downloads or the connection with the presenter or whatever. We put it out, we try again. And it's feedback. It's feedback for growth and saying, hey, maybe you want to do 10 of them in a week. Get back up to your normal performance. Get back up to your normal standard. That's all it's telling me. And then leave that where it is. Don't go over it and go, hey, you're rubbish at this, or hey, this means this. It doesn't. Don't put the story on it and don't let it affect what you do on a daily basis. Keep the consistency. So what I do is I go, hey, cool. Thanks for the feedback. That's a great idea, Tim. Let's do more of them. Let's just double down on that. That's something we can improve on. Let's get better. Let's say, be thankful for what we managed to do and put that out to the world. And hopefully that gets a good response and gets people moving, gets them where they need to go. And hopefully I shared some insight that can help people. And then we double down and we do more, and we podcast more, and we do interviews more, and we process it, and we train for it. It's back into training. Let's get some growth. And the biggest thing here is that the next day when I wake up, I'm not focused on that. I'm not going to put my energy over there, which is where I feel would have been pulled towards if I didn't have the strategies and the self-image of someone that gets up and executes. So it's the days that you don't feel like it that you've got to do the most. You've got to give the most to yourself in terms of self-love, and you've got to do the most to keep on track, to do the things that you know are going to bring you value in your life for you, your family, your partner, and are going to benefit you long-term. Because we go long-term here. It's the short-term stuff that gives you long-term success. And this is why you don't focus on the result. Because if you focus on the weekly or even the monthly results, sometimes you're going to get deflated, because that's not what you're doing it for. You're doing it for the process. You're doing it to show up. You're doing it for the consistency. You're doing it for who it is, and being integrity with yourself and what you want for your life, because you know this is the path to take and these actions will get you to your desired result. And this is the person that you are. And because you do it consistently day in, day out, whatever's happening, whether it's raining, sunning, screaming, shouting, big, little, small, sad, happy, whatever you are, fulfilled, unfulfilled, demotivated, motivated, whether you do it day in, day out, it's just who you are. And that's where you find true love for yourself. That's where you find this balance between going after it, pushing into new territory and being able to handle new territory, unknown, because you're stepping out of your comfort zone and you're going into your growth zone. But because you do things when it is challenging, that's just how you operate. So then you find it easier to go into your out of your comfort zone and into your growth zone and expand your barriers. You find it easier to stay present in difficult and complex conversations. You find it easier to handle your emotions because you're not a slave to them. You're not a slave to your emotions because you've mastered how you show up on a day-to-day basis. And long term, when you do this day in and day out, you have success and it builds and it starts to show. It's a bit like a plant growing. It starts to show slowly, 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 and then it turns into an oak tree. But it can't turn into an oak tree overnight. Can't turn into an oak tree over months. It takes years. It has to mature through self-awareness. It has to build the strength to take more weight, to carry a heavier load, to withstand more storms. And it's the storms that make it stronger. I talk about this in my book, The Momentum Sales Model. When they made a utopia in a bubble, they put all the plants in. They wanted to recreate the world and they put the plants in and they made this flora and fauna, but they forgot to put in the elements. And so these plants grew and they grew really, really tall. They grew really, really higher than they did on Earth. They grew really, really high, really amazing. But then as soon as they turned on the natural elements, they flopped down because they didn't have the roots. They didn't have the structure. They didn't have the strength. They hadn't had the growth through the elements over the lifetime of that plant growing, that tree growing, for it to build the strength. And so the strength is there because it withstood the elements, withstood the wind, the rain, the snow, the sleet, the storms that raged around it, and it carried on anyway. And so that's the same for you. If you're facing struggle, you're facing times of anxiety, high stress, overwhelm, and you're thinking about deviating to a lower form of what you could become, really grasp onto it and just do 5 minutes. Just do 5 minutes. Give yourself that gift, whatever it is. Just do the behavior that you know is going to lead to your success in the future. Do that success activating behavior. Change those self images through the behaviors you're doing. So these are success activating behaviors. These are self identity based behaviors that you're changing. And when you do them consistently and you go through the storm on the days you don't feel like it, you build that strength. You build that muscle. You build the ability to carry a bigger load and to carry on. And so it becomes just the norm, becomes how you operate, And when you operate at that level, you're a machine. You become dangerous for yourself because you're like, yes, bring it. You can test yourself. You can feel yourself when you're really ready to go. Let's run up that mountain. Why not? Let's go for it. So you start asking for more. You start getting bigger because you're able to carry it. You have ability to be responsible to yourself and to be accountable and to take action. And that is just such a beautiful place to be. So if you're going through it, remember that it's super possible for you, that you're one move away from doing this, that you don't have to be restricted by your emotions. And that even though they feel really real right now, and they feel like this is what you want to express, that you want to give up, that you want to be angry, that you want to feel worried about something, that you are just one thought, one decision, one action away from changing your physiological state to bring you back in alignment with who you could become and your best version of you. And I want that for you. I want you to understand that in that moment, you have a choice to make and you can make it. That you can be more in that moment. And when you do, you're doubling down on yourself and you're giving yourself self-love. So this is how we get it. Anything worth having takes struggle. It doesn't come easy, right? Else everybody would have it. And so that's why choosing not to go down the easy road and choosing to stay on the hard road and to stick with it and to have consistency and build it into your life wins over time. And you start to see it over time. So don't look for the external result. The result is already within. The result is already happening while you sticking with your process, with you sticking and being in integrity with what you value, the principles and what you're going for. Write down your goals every day. Make sure they're front of mind. Make sure you're brainstorming ideas on how to achieve them. Write them down so they become a part of you. These goals should be so intrinsic to who you are. They should really fuel you and get emotionally connected to them with positive emotion. How will it feel when you've achieved your goal? Be and live in that essence and then make decisions from that place. It's such a different way of living, but it's showing up on those days and knowing how to turn those days around that don't start off how you want, and to deliver your own testimony in those days, your own story, and to rewrite your legacy and to carry on and to show the world what you're made of. So go out there today, take this with you and attack the day.